You always acted like I was to blame, but blame me for winning that dick. You're ashamed of yourself cause you let it all slip off the ball, and now nobody's passing you shit with your hands out. No cloud, with an L so big they don't know how. You do it still, but you do it still, and I'm here for it like, oh wow. One is a church and the other's a steeple. Two middle fingers protect me from evil. Hit me with bullshit and it might be lethal. I don't have friends because I don't have equals.
I took time.
Control the crazy and it's a bravery. Picked up a camera and saved my baby. Now we get millions of views on a daily. We used to be homies, but they hate me now. Everybody plotting, trying to take me down. Whoa, fuck you forever, ain't no maybes now. Whoa, I hate to burn you, but there's flames around. Whoa, used to be homies, but they hate me now. Everybody plotting, trying to take me down. Fuck you forever, ain't no maybes now. I hate to burn you, but there's flames around. I'm the shit you let get to your head. My whole feet is your nightmare, just block me in front. I'm living your dreams, hiding under your bed so you can't even sleep, but you wish I was dead. But you thought I was dead. Nah, I'm existing to kill you instead. Every tooth on my smile is shot to your head. They call it success, but I call it revenge. My crew shallow and you still drown. We don't even go home and we own the town. Feel some way, but still claim you proud. And still talk no like I know your friends aloud.
Oh my mind.
Closet is Gucci, closet is Louis. Clean out the skeletons, now I'm the new me. Get out my way, or when I say excuse me. We used to be homies, but they hate me now. Everybody plotting, trying to take me down. Whoa, fuck you forever, ain't no maybes now. Whoa, I hate to burn you, but there's flames around. Whoa, used to be homies, but they hate me now. Everybody plotting, trying to take me down. Fuck you forever, ain't no maybes now. I hate to burn you, but there's flames around. We ain't radicalized anymore. Not now, not ever, no, not. Not now, not ever, no, not. We used to be homies, but they hate me now. Everybody plotting, trying to take me down. Whoa, fuck you forever, ain't no maybes now. Whoa, I hate to burn you, but there's flames around. Used to be homies, but they hate me now. Everybody plotting, trying to take me down. Fuck you forever, ain't no maybes now. I hate to burn you, but there's flames around.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Warpaint. It is time to put it on. Guys, it has been a crazy day. I'm sorry I'm so late. I'm late every time. I might as well just start doing my show at 3 because then I might, be on time for once in my fucking life. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this morning, the No Kings protest live from Miami and from Boston. We had our team out there. It was a really good live stream. If you haven't seen it already, go ahead and go check it out. Today on Warpaint, we are going to talk about the leak of the New York Young Republicans chat. I have personally confirmed with my good friend Lucian Whittrich. Again, they haven't, New York Young Republicans haven't released a formal statement yet, but I can personally confirm the Young Republicans Club is not responsible for the leak. It was entirely Gavin Wax, who has formally resigned, also confirmed by Lucian, and I think they released it a couple hours ago. But regardless, the New York Young Republicans Club has not made a comment yet. Gavin has resigned, and we're gonna fucking talk about it because this is insane. In what universe do we just betray each other over some off-collar jokes? I personally know Gavin Wax has laughed at some off-collar jokes, but we'll get into that as soon as we start. In the meantime, grab your favorite beverage. Today I was in a hurry, so I grabbed my blueberry cider, and we're going to enjoy the simultaneous sip. Thank you for joining me today on Warpaint. Grab your drink and let us do it right now. Blueberry cider. I love it. All right. It's time for Warpaint, boys and girls. Time to put it on.
Yeah, I'm trying this thing where I'm...
War Paint.
They'll take you to...
Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right!
You need to remember that.
By sharing this video.
Oh no! Fuck. Yeah.
Welcome to War Paint, sir.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn.
Music and the truth until dawn.
Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. Occupied zone.
The chair is against the walls.
The chair is against the walls. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory, tree. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
It was crashing, but I can't take my eyes off you. We brush off the feeling, trying not to play it cool. I must be dreaming, and even if I wake up, I'll still be dreaming. Even if I wake up, I'll still be dreaming.
Holy shit, the fucking fire! Hey, kids! You guys, kids!
I'll still be dreaming. The sun comes up in the morning. The neighbors are going to work and I'm still looking at you. You cry. On to that dreaming, even if I wake up, I'll still be dreaming. Even if I wake up, I'll still be dreaming.
You are now banned from the computer. Goodbye.
They told you the war was over, and that the culture battle was done, dusted, settled. They told you to go home, smile nice, and obey. But you're here. And so am I. Which means it's not over. Who wants to begin?
I'm tired of sleeping and dreaming about the shell of a being. I'm tired of working and bleeding. I am the God and I mean it.
There can be only one.
16, pouring up another scene. Papa got the vaccine, so ain't no acting, playing no practice. Niggas wanna check this album playlist. Fuck you, pay me. I'm tired of sleeping and dreaming about the shell of a being. I'm tired of working and bleeding. I am the God and I mean it.
Guys, it's a miracle. I remember to hit unmute and I'm by myself. I know I look awful. I'm all bloated. It's okay. You're not here because you're here to look at me. You're here to listen to me talk shit, okay? You're here to listen to me talk shit. I swear to God, the production value on this is going to go up dramatic. It's going to improve very bigly. We're going to get a lot of improvements. I'm going to have lighting. I'm going to do my hair and my makeup. And I feel like I just slipped into it. Brooklyn or whatever accent. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today on Warpaint. I did not bail because I've done that too much recently. Life has gotten in the way, and I was like, I look like crap. I didn't think I was gonna go on the live earlier, so I didn't think that was be a problem. And then of course Enrique's like, Kim, get on the live. I thought I was just gonna be running it from behind the scenes. Nope, that's not possible. So that was the time I was gonna doll up at least a little. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen today. We're talking about the leaked chats. Again, I'm going to clarify, the Young Republicans Club had no responsibility for leaking the chats. These were just chats that they had. And they're tame, guys. Let's just be really honest. Their chats were extremely tame. You might, if you're offended by off-color jokes, that's a whole other topic, and I understand. Some jokes just don't land, like the Malaysian flights. See? There are some people who can't laugh at rape jokes. You can't laugh at 9/11 jokes. I know I'm not laughing at any Charlie Kirk jokes. That's a good example. I mean, I can't really think of much else that I wouldn't joke about, but I just like this is gonna sound really stupid, but like I've been thinking about it. Like, is there a comedic spin? Like, I've said multiple times on the show, and I promise I'll get back on topic, but I've said that everything is funny or nothing is funny. So I'm sure that like a really good comedian out there in the world could make a funny joke about it. But women aren't funny, and I just can't think of that joke. Anyway, so back to the topic at hand here. Again, good afternoon. Thank you guys for joining me today. We're talking about a deep dive into one of the weirdest scandals that I've ever seen to rock the Republican Party and the next generation of political people. Of course, we're talking about the leak of the private group from the young GOP leaders. And I'm just going to call it the MAGA meltdown, because that's just what this is. It was just edgy jokes gone wrong. And it's being phrased as like racism. There's like, people are saying that Gavin leaked this story out of some like weird revenge because of some situation with Trump. We'll go into that more later. And it's just, watching the way that people react on the internet is just endlessly entertaining for me. No stone left unturned. Buckle up. This is going to be exhaustive. So basically, the saga begins on October 14th, 2025. Politico drops a bombshell and an expose based on over, I think it was around 3,000 tweets, or not tweets, pages of Telegram messages. The chat was active from, I believe, January. Let me see my notes. Yeah, it says January to about mid-August, and involved about a dozen millennials and Gen Z leaders from the Young Republican organization across states like New York, Kansas, Arizona, and Vermont. Their mission was to seize control of the I'm sorry, I wrote that note wrong. Anyway, so basically the chats are full of these dark humor jokes, slurs about the N-word. We're on YouTube right now, so I will refrain from going hard R on you, or I don't care. I really don't care. But F slurs about the gays, and R words about people of diminished mental capacity were alleged to have appeared over 251 times. Of course, also in the conversation was people saying, "Oh, if people saw this, they wouldn't like it." I think one particular tweet, or one, I keep calling them tweets. Everything's a tweet to me. One particular comment highlighted, quote, "If we ever had a leak of this chat, we would be cooked for real, for real." And it's just, again, the pearl clutching in this is astronomical. There's no reason that, okay, here's the difference, and I said this to the editor of the Bee, and I'll say this to you guys on live now. If your homeboy rapes a girl, if you know your homeboy rapes a girl, fucking tell on him. Tell the world, make sure everybody knows he's a piece of shit. If your homeboy just tells you a joke in private, even if you don't like it, keep it to your fucking self. I mean, seriously, what kind of loser takes jokes made in private and hands them over willingly to people who want your friends dead? I say it all the time. You can't call people Nazis for 10 years and then be surprised that we just embrace it and say fuck it. You're saying that being a normal person makes you a Nazi, so it's like, okay, you're gonna call me a Nazi either way. I make Nazi jokes. I talked about this on my Twitter, actually. And I'll tell this story to you guys because it's true. I went to a predominantly Jewish school, and I guess the guy that did this wasn't Jewish, and I'm not going to dox him because that's ridiculous. I'm not that mean, even though they might think I'm evil. But anyway, I used to hang out with this group. We used to smoke weed. We used to, partake in underage drinking. And there was this park down the street from my house, and you can overlook the water. So nobody can go down there, but there was rocks and stuff, and we used to throw our empties down there because we're horrible kids. And we were throwing our bottles at the rocks, and we're all drunk, we're all stoned, we're all going, I'm gonna throw bottles at rocks. And one of the kids, I swear on the Bible, I don't know where it came from, I don't know how it came to this in his brain, but he goes, we're gonna throw rocks at N-words, hard R. Everyone burst out laughing. There was a black kid there. Even he was laughing. Nobody thought anything of it. Nobody canceled this kid. Nobody did anything ridiculous. All of the best Jew gassing jokes I've ever heard were from the Jewish kids that I went to school with, the same kids who used to draw swastikas on their shit because they thought it was edgy. The people today who would crucify these young Republicans, and I know some of them are in their 30s and their 40s, whatever, not necessarily all young, but anything that if I had kept even a fraction of a record of the crap that these people used to say, they would have been nuked off the internet 10 times over at this point. They would have just been fucking annihilated. So the idea that you can't make gas chamber jokes without being secretly Nazi is just laughably pathetic. And the fact that Gavin Wax would share these. And okay, so I said earlier we're going to talk about it. We'll talk about it. I don't know that this story is true. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense that this is like a revenge plot instead of like actual ploy to like just expose Republicans, because I feel like that's like too simple. It's alleged that there was some kind of meeting, or there was like an event going on in New Jersey with Trump and the New York Young Republicans and the New York State Young Republicans. And I don't know the guy's name. I'm not going to butcher it, but Gavin allegedly had beef with the guy because he like stole a photo op with Trump that Gavin was supposed to get. Petty fucking shit. And allegedly this started a feud between these two, and then led to, and this was a signed affidavit to the White House, Gavin blackmailing the guy into giving up the chats in order to be sent to Politico. So there's just a lot of sneaky behavior here. Excuse me. While I die. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys. I know it's very unprofessional. But I guess primarily what I want to talk about when it comes to this, it's weird to think that pettiness between people on this level would lead to this kind of betrayal. Let's call it what it is, a betrayal. And the conversation that it has sparked online is just painful. It's painful to read through because it just exposes a kind of evil in the right wing that I didn't think was really around. I thought like everyone kind of understood, like, you have jokes that you make, you know, with your friends, and you have jokes that you don't and you wouldn't make in public. Because you know, this stuff is funny. There's no reason to say that you can gatekeep what's funny and what's not funny. Of course people wouldn't make these jokes in public, and that's where, you know, I don't understand how people are drawing the comparison between this and the Charlie Kirk firings. Like, no logical person could say that there is any similarity in that whatsoever. Like, it's totally rational for a person to not want to employ somebody who publicly put their name and face and employer behind a statement celebrating the fact that a man got assassinated. There is no reason that these chats should have ever been public in the first place. And quite frankly, there's nothing really that damning in here. People like to harp on, like, oh, they made rape jokes. Oh, they made jokes about gas chambers. Making a gas chamber joke does not make a person a Nazi. Believe it or not, like I said before, the funniest gas chamber jokes I've ever heard in my life were from people who have Holocaust survivors in their family. So I don't want to hear it. Gavin Wax has laughed at off-color jokes. Gavin Wax has made jokes before. I personally have spent time around Gavin Wax, not a significant amount of time, but the first time I ever encountered Gavin, I was actually invited to go to see Anne, my aunt, Anne, speaking at a New York Young Republican meeting. There was like, she was the main speaker or whatever, and she wanted desperately to have me date a member of that club. She was like going off on me about, like, you need a husband who can buy you a condo on Fifth Avenue. Anyway, so this is the context in which I was introduced to Gavin. I was just kind of like Anne's niece, and she's like talking to people being like, yo, I'm trying to hook my niece up with people here. Little did she know I was already happily with somebody, and that's a whole other story. But yes, Gavin laughed at off-color jokes the entire time. We went to a bar with Anne and them after the event, and you better believe, like, over hard drinks, like, people were joking about stuff, and I'm not going to make any definitive claims. I can't, like, this is all hearsay, but this is my lived experience with Gavin. Like, he had no problem laughing at stuff that would get him in trouble. So, again, and you can follow this back to my tweets when people were first starting to talk about it and saying, oh, it's Gavin. I was really hesitant. I was really upset. Because I didn't, he'd been on my show for the Motivated Armed Gun Owning Americans before. And quite frankly, looking back on that, there should have been red flags, because one of the conversations that we did have was like, as a Republican in New York, who considers himself a member of the Jewish community, particularly when it came to guns at the time, was like, you need to police your own, into not advocating for things that are the antithesis of helpful. And he seemed to have a not great reaction to that too. But the idea that like he's against the racist jokes or whatever, he's against all of these things when he's like fully behind Israel, and Israel, as we know, Israel sterilized Ethiopian people under the right to return without their knowledge. This was a Zionist situation. It's a secular nation, and you don't even get a right to return without proving your genetic DNA. So the idea that like it isn't a race also doesn't really make sense to me. Again, everybody's like obsessed with Jewish stuff these days. I'm not necessarily on that level, but one thing, and the one thing that like pushed me far right in the first place was when I would approach my lefty friends and they would say, "Oh, we're not even allowed to talk about that." That was a red flag. And that's what we get when we talk about Israel, when we talk about the relationship with Netanyahu and our government, when we talk about Mossad. It's very much like you're not allowed to talk about it. And that, more than anything, raises red flags to me. I know this is kind of like off topic, but again, the idea that the person who supports Israel and who supports a nation who has committed atrocities against particularly Black people would like be offended by somebody using the N-word in jest with a private group just like doesn't sit right with me. That guy Michael, he signed the affidavit that said that Gavin blackmailed him. Again, incredibly disappointing. I was really hoping that this wouldn't be the case, that it would turn out like not to be Gavin, but it for all intents and purposes, it's been proven. Gavin has stepped down. He it's a shit show of a situation, you guys. And it's basically left a weird rift between, I don't know, I guess they're calling it the woke right, alt-right, whatever. You can't really name the subsects of the right wing anymore, can you? Because they've kind of just been like corrupted and co-opted, and people like use alt-right as like a derogatory, even though the alt-right has meant like 12 different things over the last 10 years. The New York Young Republicans Club intends to make a public statement about it. Who knows when that'll happen? I'll update you guys when it does. As it stands, like I said, Gavin Wax absolutely leaked the information, or leaked the stuff. He blackmailed Michael in order to get the pages in the first place. And the New York Young Republicans Club is distancing, I'm assuming distancing themselves from the situation. We'll see what they have to say about it. But in the meantime, this is just some weird drama. And if it really did happen over like some petty dispute with a picture opportunity with Trump, I've seen lots of pictures of Gavin with Trump. Trump's even shared about his proposal, I'm pretty sure. I think it's his pinned tweet on his profile. I don't know. You just think like, I really always assume that like we're free of this pettiness on the right wing, but I keep being proven that that's not the case. And it's thoroughly disappointing, I will say. I'll follow up with a few things about this. I'm going to follow up with Lucian to maybe he'll have some interesting insight about what happened. And maybe he'll be willing to share that with us. But basically, this is just a shit show. This is just stupid infighting, and it proved who is standing on the side, who is actually standing on our side in this kind of scenario. Like, can anyone really, even people who agree with Gavin say that they can never trust him again. I don't think so. I know I certainly don't. Again, very disappointing. But that is the long and the short of it, guys. It's been about a half hour. I don't want to drone on about it too much. If there's any updates, I'll share them with you. I'll probably do little video updates. I'm going to do more YouTube videos. I have a channel. It's called This Is Warpaint. You're not going to be able to find it, so I'll link it to you guys. I don't know why it doesn't, like, literally, even if you type in every single word, it doesn't bring it up. I have to update on my thumbnails. I have to fix the problems on my website because I am a one-woman show. I mean, I know I have a bunch of great friends and great people who work with me over at the Warboy Studios. Please follow Chief Bacher in particular. He is, like, I couldn't do the show without him. But, still doing this primarily by myself, and I am a classic overcommitter. So I you know, I want to run a website for news and I want to do all these other things, and sometimes I drop a ball or two. I'm glad you guys are still with me through it all. It's been a good episode. How do I normally wrap these up? I don't know. It's weird because, like, I'm by myself. So normally I at least have, you know, like a co-host here to be like, and that's Warpaint. See you next time. But that's not how it is today. So, again, we'll see what the New York Young Republicans Club has to say about Gavin Wax. Make sure that you're following the Warboy Studios over on the X, Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it. Make sure that you're following all the other boys on the Warboy Studios. I think I'm still the only girl who, like, formally has a show. And I am in charge of hiring and firing people, so I'll make sure it stays that way, guys, because that's how female pettiness works, and I'm not even going to front about it. So thank you guys for joining today. It's been a good show. I always enjoy spending time with you. Have a great rest of your weekend. And remember, this has been Warpaint. I hope that you wore it well.